What is going on, everyone? Trust the Buzz here. If you are new to the channel, I make Charlotte Hornets content, so if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. We are so close to 1,000. I think we're like, 74 away? So 274 more subscribers, and I'll be at 1,000. And I just want to thank each and every one of you who've watched even a second of one of my videos. But anyway, that's not what you're here for. You are here to see me talk about Theo Maledon, because that's the thumbnail title of this video. So I mean, really the reason I want to talk about Theo Maledon is just because of the fact that we went into the season not having a guard, well, not having any backup point guards. Then we got Dennis Smith Jr. and then we got Theo Maledon. Or did we get Theo first? I don't remember, but either way, we went from being unsure who the backup point guard would be, considering, obviously LaMelo Ball being a starter, and now we have two decent backups. Now, the problem with both backups is neither one can shoot. Like, for example, Theo Maledon shooting 38.5% from the field and 28% from three. Not good at all. However, as a starter, so 5 games he started, he is averaging 10 assists, 10.2 assists a game. His starter stats basically is 12 points, 10.2 assists, and 5.2 rebounds. Can't be mad at the production he's putting out on the field, but you can be wondering about the efficiency, especially considering that those around him aren't the most efficient either. So we, like, for example, he's playing with Bryce McGowan, who's actually pretty efficient. James Bouknight can be efficient. He's been efficient recently. And then, the pick and roll, Mark Williams is efficient. Pick and roll with Kai Jones, Nick Richards, all that. But he's not really playing with the main guys, and I feel like has his stats take a hit, but I wouldn't be too concerned. I think the only thing I would really be concerned about is just having two different guards who are just unable to shoot. So Dennis Smith Jr., I think that with his excellent perimeter defense, I would say it just outweighs Theo Maledon's just overall impact on the game, because I know his shooting stats, I just read them, they're not that good, but Theo does a great job of just affecting the game. He does a great job of just being a true point guard for this offense that severely lacks when LaMelo Ball's not playing. Like, the offense just seems to can't find a flow, and even now it still can't, but it's not because of lack of playmaking. It's just more so there's not really anyone left to really score. I mean, we can't have Svi do everything. James Bouknight can sometimes take it into his own hands, he's shown, but then Bryce McGowan was in the last game dropping 20 against the Toronto Raptors, shown that he can be a efficient scorer as well, which I need Bryce McGowan to be more aggressive, but we'll talk about that in another video. Because, like I said, just let me know what you think of Theo Maledon. Should the Hornets keep him? Because, like I said, we don't have a backup point guard at all. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be Dennis Smith Jr. And if you're going to get another backup guard, which would not be crazy to think about, there would be room for a third string point guard, just because we know that LaMelo does deal with injury. We don't know how he's going to come back. I know they said that he should come back just fine next season, but do you really want to rush that? I mean, it kind of depends on the roster, I guess, maybe, because if the roster is still similar to what it is now, do you really want to rush LaMelo Ball back? Do you kind of just want to ease him back? I don't know, but having another point guard, I think, will help. But then you got to consider the CBA allowing another two-way spot, so we could bring Theo back on that and then just have Dennis Smith Jr. be the backup point guard. But I mean, I think that you would really need a shooter, but at the same time, we've seen that without LaMelo Ball, the offense just does not go, whether the star player or the starter players are playing or not. Theo does a really good job of keeping somewhat of that playmaking alive. Dennis Smith Jr. is a good playmaker as well, but I think Dennis Smith Jr. is more of, I have the basketball IQ, I have the awareness to kick it to the open guy. This guy's cutting, I can get the ball to him, I'm a decent passer. I think Theo is a little different. He's like a maestro. I mean, he sees the play kind of before it even happens, before it unveils. I think he passes guys open, which is a very good trait to have, especially as a traditional point guard such as Theo. But it's just really hard without the shooting. However, we also have plenty of guys who can shoot. I mean, we have Bryce McGowan, James Bouknight, Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, Svi, I hope they bring back. Whatever rookie, I'm pretty sure will be able to shoot to some extent, LaMelo Ball. So it's just like, with that much firepower, do you really need your point guards to shoot, such as Dennis Smith Jr. Theo? I don't really think so. but I do get the concern because the numbers are so bad. And we're specifically talking about Theo. When the offseason gets here, we'll do more of a deep dive. I mean, the season's still going on, so there's not much to really talk about, but I'm trying to just find, different small things we can kind of prepare you for what's the offseason to come. Because offseason, we're doing grades, we're watching film, we're doing all kinds of stuff. I have lots of content planned. I definitely shouldn't run out of content during the off season. To me, it's a little easier doing content off season than it is during the season. But overall, I think there's a place for Theo. I think he really does need to improve his offensive game, because we can't have 2 point guards who really can't shoot. Theo being on a 2-way, I don't think he would be taking that spot from anyone, so I don't see it being a bad thing. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I think he can be a serviceable backup. I know teams will be looking at him. That's the key reason I want to make this video, because it's very possible we just might have to let him walk. He might price himself out of Charlotte, because other teams may be willing to take the risk. Like, yeah, you're not getting someone that good of a shooter, but I mean, he does everything else so well, and he's only 21 years old, about to turn 22 in June, so it's just really difficult. I would rather keep him than lose him and then find something else to do after, because it's just that the way, like I said, the way he impacts the game, I think, is valuable. I'm not saying that he can't be replaced. If they can find a serviceable replacement, or James Bouknight can come along as a point guard, and to some extent, because we're talking tertiary point guard minutes here. If James Bouknight could become serviceable to some extent, then do we really need that? Probably not. So it would depend on a lot, but based on what we've seen from James Bouknight, it's just he's at his best as a true scorer, as a true shooting guard. We'll see what another summer of him getting more point guard minutes looks like. I mean, I know this past season he didn't get to do summer league, which that would have been nice for him to practice being a point guard, because then he kind of was thrown into the preseason being a point guard, and it didn't go well, and then go into the regular season as a point guard didn't go well. So I think that having Theo as a tertiary point guard, because we know LaMelo Ball deals with injuries, and Theo be on a 2-way, I think that's a good idea. Like I said, he can be replaced. Should they probably look for a better alternative? I think so, but just based on what we have right now, I just don't see the reason of letting this guy go when you don't have a backup plan. If you got a backup plan, or you got something in mind, even if the backup plan is, all right, we're really going to hound on James Bouknight becoming our tertiary point guard, because like I said, Dennis Smith Jr. more likely to stay. You cannot pass up that defense. If that's the case and it doesn't work, I'm fine. Like, you let Theo go because you want James Bouknight to be that tertiary point guard. That's okay with me, even if it doesn't work. You took a risk. You knew what you were going to do. But please don't let Theo walk, and then you have no idea what you're going to do about the point guard position after that. And the reason the tertiary point guard is so important, because like I said, LaMelo deals with injury every single year, and that's part of the game. I mean, it's not his fault. Like, he had some freak accidents this year, but overall, just let me know. Like I said, we're talking third string point guard here that can provide valuable minutes just in case LaMelo goes out, gets in foul trouble, Dennis Smith Jr. goes out, something like that. Those are the type of minutes we're talking about. Do you want him out there? Because I think he really can affect the game. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.